CCN's Luna Petty is here with us right now live in the studio. Luna, what do you have for us?
Well, Curtis, this bill has raised eyebrows with some Americans and students who feel college education funds should not go to those who came here illegally. Those against the DREAM Act say they need to gather 500,005 signatures to get the repeal measure on the November ballot. Just this past week, a group organized a petition drive in Pasadena. One of the most vocal legislative opponents of the DREAM Act, Assemblyman Tim Donnelly, formed the Stop AB 131 committee in his effort to have the legislation repealed. Donnelly says he has received calls and emails and has had people coming up to him from all parties thanking him for his actions to repeal the DREAM Act. But those in favor of the DREAM Act say their actions discriminate against the undocumented.
Make sure we have a balanced budget, to make sure that we have money in our budget.
Get out of here!
Loud hecklers and the sudden downpour of rain didn't discourage volunteers and politicians from gathering signatures in hopes of repealing the DREAM Act. They showed up here in the parking lot at the former Cedars restaurant in Pasadena, hoping to collect enough signatures to put the repeal on the November ballot. Assembly Bill 131, also known as the DREAM Act, gives illegal immigrants access to state financial aid at public universities and community colleges. Jonathan Perez, whose family moved here from Colombia before he was born, says the new law lets undocumented immigrants access funds they're entitled to.
It's money that we've already contributed to and money we've already earned by going to school. And so this just makes it so we can access it, how any other student should be able to access it.
Assemblymember Tim Donnelly began the effort to repeal the DREAM Act soon after Governor Jerry Brown signed the legislation this past October. He says the reduction in class availability is already hurting students here legally and the economy.
Because now you have these kids over here on the expense side of the column. Instead of transitioning into the workforce, they're being delayed their entry into the workforce by up to 2 years.
Donna Lowe, a candidate for the 41st District Assembly seat, also supports repealing AB 131. Lowe, whose stepdaughter is a UC student, says their effort to collect signatures has been largely grassroots, led by volunteers. Although the group doesn't know exactly how many signatures they currently have, she's hopeful they will succeed in gathering the 500,000 signatures needed by the first week of January. She says the state just doesn't have enough money to fund this new law.
Governor Brown just put another $1 billion cut on higher ed just this week. Yet he wants to fund education for illegals, people who have come here knowingly breaking the law.
Jonathan says anti-immigration conservatives have a hurtful message similar to the Nazis and the KKK. He says it all boils down to hate.
They use the same message. This is America, deport all the illegals. And, that's a very hurtful word. We call it the I word now, because it's dehumanizing. We really want people to step out of the shadows and become more public, similar to how Harvey Milk was asking the gay community to come out.
Donnelly says the DREAM Act sends the wrong message that if you get here illegally, then California will give you a free tuition. A group in support of the DREAM Act who call themselves the Dreamers also organized a march this past weekend when they joined the Madison Community Posada, which began at Madison Elementary School. We really wanted to cover it, but unfortunately we were unable to make it. Jonathan Perez of the Immigrant Youth Coalition says the group will hold more actions in upcoming weeks, all in the effort to let the undocumented know that they have a network of people to call on if they need help.